Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Exercise Nick Show. My name is Exercise Nick. Actually, my name is Nick. Exercise Nick is my online handle because I used a program called Softimage XSI a long time ago, back in the day. I could say back in the day now because it's been many years now. I think maybe a few times on the stream I've showed what that program looks like because once upon a time they released a free version of the Softimage XSI 3D application. It was called the mod tool, the Softimage mod tool. Anyways, guys, how are you doing? Good morning. We're having a pretty early stream. I'm going to jump into 3D Code and we're going to continue working and sculpting on that model, that interior model of the mech suit. I just want to say hello to all those who has been following us for so many years and checking us out. A lot of you check me out after the fact so that you could scrub through and go straight to the good parts. I don't blame you. But if you really want to support this channel and help me out, watching me live, while I'm actually streaming actually helps, right? Because what it does, it helps with the ad revenue so that I can have money to to do more things to the stream, to make it more interesting, to have different things. But I'm still trying to force through regardless. I'm going to stream whether or not we have ad money or not. It doesn't matter. But you would help if you do watch me live. Watching me after the fact helps also. But and I know it's easier for people to scrub through and cut the stream down to like a few minutes, and nothing is wrong with that. I'm well aware. I'm really trying to see if I can make the 2 hours that we stream, and sometimes we stream for 3 and 4 hours, but mostly 2 hours. The 2 hours that I stream, I'm really trying to make it chock full of this goodies. So it's worthwhile for you coming in and watching me. I know watching someone sculpting, pulling, drawing lines, moving points on a polygon could be a lot boring. I know I have very long intros a lot of times. I know I talk a lot. Hey guys, it's Exercise Nick. That's what I do. I'm here, and I'm here for you. And please come in and invite your friends and tell them, and let's blow the channel up. I take ideas. Ex Nikki, was an idea that I had, and then a viewer by the name of BCC came in, a guy called BCC, and he came in, and I think his other name is BC. He was like, "Hey, you should have a girl bear," and I was like, "Yeah, that's a really good idea." I had an idea to have another co-host, right? I wasn't thinking in terms of a girl bear per se, but yeah, I was like, okay, and I knew exactly what ex Nikki should look like, a mirror copy of me. I have other ideas for other hosts and other bears and stuff like that, but oops, I let it out the bag. Yes, there's other bears besides me and besides ex Nikki, but a lot more things could be possible if the stream could at least. Whoa, I'm doubling up there. Yeah, a lot more things on the stream could be possible if this could have some kind of supportive thing, so I don't have to break away like in the past. Sometimes you see me leave the stream for like minutes at a time and come back because I have to actually do work, right? And earn an income, which is great. We all have to do that. But streams are a lot better if the creator could focus on the stream itself. So I'm focusing on so many things, guys. So I'm focusing on actual working. I'm focusing on actually creating assets for the game that we've been working on for many years. It's been most of my life, most of my younger brother's life, that I've been working on this game concept and now trying to see it to fruition. Your support by watching the stream, I'm not even asking for money, but your support by watching the stream actually helps. So invite your friends. You guys have me playing in the background. You don't actually have to watch me. That's the best thing. You could just have me playing in the background, put me on your phone, let the ads play through, let your boy play through, and help support. Another thing, a lot of the people that subscribe, I don't know if you know, the people that not only subscribe, but the people that subscribe to my YouTube, the people that follow me on Twitch, guys, I'm gonna put your names in the game. Your name's gonna be splattered all over the game. And for those who actually come on Twitch and do a subscription, there's even more perks, right? We want to be able to work those things out where, you know, you could get some real value for just being around and watching and supporting and that kind of thing. So I just want to thank all of you who do lurk and who do watch me after the fact. But hey, if you really love a boy, which is me and ex-Nikki, you know, you would, you know, come watch me live. All right, guys. So I'm going to jump into doing some 3D code, and you know, we worked in Blender for a minute and that kind of thing, you know. So yeah, that's enough of my my monologue there, right? Good morning, everyone. Boring. Yeah, you hear that? That's ex-Nikki's telling me to move on. Okay, I'll see you. Let's go. Oh. This is Soul 3000 development, guys. Okie dokie. So here we are in 3D code. I'm gonna launch that app. You know how this goes, guys. You know, I could check, you know, because we could switch it up, right? We could definitely switch it up. You know, especially having a stream like this where it's basically a hangout stream. Okay, we're gonna break away. This is a first hour. All right, so here we are. You know, we sculpted like the interior of this in a very simple way, and we're gonna do the other part of it, right? I'm gonna hide this. You know, we could leave that up so we could see what's going on. Also, you know, in here you could do auto picking. So even though you have different things broken up, you could actually come here in the you know, in 3D code and tell it to whatever your brush touches, that's the mesh you're sculpting on, even though it's on a different layer. So it's like auto select layer kind of thing. Okay, let me just get a focus point on this. There we go. So we can rotate. Yeah, isn't that nicer? 3D code is cheaper than ZBrush, and if you're using ZBrush and it's a borrowed version, quote unquote, please, I implore you, you know, save your money up, and instead of purchasing an expensive ZBrush, purchase 3D code, and your boy is gonna help you use it. I'm promoting 3D code even though they don't know who I am. And I'm just joking. They probably know who I am to some degree, because I mean some of the 3D code people out there, maybe not a company, but yeah. Anyways, blah blah blah. Let's get to sculpting. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna use this plane tool and just have an idea for it to kind of shave down some of this stuff in the head, in this headrest. I want to really try to make it as neat as possible. So you could define the plane by right mouse clicking like this, and then that's a plane that you could cut through. Oh, what tool am I using? The plane tool. Anyways, or you could just use the 3 points, which is what I like. Pick this point, wings. Pick that point, wings. And pick this point here, bazoinks. And let's just shave this down. You change the brush size so that we don't collide into any other mesh. Now, when you're doing sculpting and stuff, most sculpting programs, one of the more powerful features of any sculpting program is masking, and I haven't really been using that in 3D Code a whole lot because masking for me, it feels a little tricky sometimes. I'm gonna hide the symmetry plane, but I don't have symmetry on. Yeah, masking feels a little tricky sometimes. Why? Boy, why isn't that reflecting on this side? Why was that turned off? Okay. Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. I'm so glad you're in my life. I'm so glad you came to save us. You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt you paid from the cross to the grave. From the grave to the sky, You came from heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross. My debt you paid from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. Lord, I lift your name on high. Okay, so we're just kind of cutting away at this thing. Just, which is what we want to do. I'm gonna cut away at it. Adjusting the plane here. Seeing how best, best I could use this tool here. There we go. Kind of. Getting more of a. Look here. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. It just has to be set back a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Let's get that fill tool and just kind of fix some areas like that. I mean, this is going to be covered up by that calm system. There is a flatten tool in here. Okay, we're going to try to smooth these surfaces. Remember, this shader here is kind of like a worst case scenario shader. Okay, I should probably try to cut this out from the back so we can have a defined edge, and then we can merge it back. So I'm gonna bring up this split tool, and you could split with some overlap, but I'm not going to do that because, you know, we want to create things like seams and that kind of thing to make it look very manufactured. Okay, so I got something like this. I'll give it a little bit more of a rotation there. Okay, I'm going to cut this piece out. And we can even build this back a little bit nicer too. Okay, so that's a separation right there. Of course, when we did a split, to avoid that, I just have to like kind of mimic going around, but or turn symmetry off and just, you know, extract it out of there like that. But I want symmetry on, and we'll just kind of fill this up with a fill tool to fix that. Fill brush. This is what we got here. Maybe on the wrong layer. Yep, that's what I thought. Zoom in. Okay, so this is a whole unit unto itself, and we could work with this. Hide this. You gotta clean this one up. Okay, guys, I'm going to go a little silent, just kind of focusing more on this. Okay, so it's a little smoother than it was before. Okay, that's as milled as I could get it to look. This top part is still wobbly. Let's see if we could fix that. Okay. Okay, let's roll with that. Let's roll with that. Okay, let's see here. So we got that. We got that, and come back in here. Okay, so that chair is gonna fit in there nice. Let's go back to the top part here. Yep, this panel's still connected. This nice seam going on. Okay, you just gotta okay. Let's do that same kind of cuts we were doing like the last time. It's actually padding. That's kind of what we're simulating right here. We're gonna do a little bit at a time. And this part here is still not very thing. Flat. Okay, there you go. Trying to bring that together. Okay, it's a lot better. Okay, it's way better. Save this. Just had that chair part there. Let's see if we could get this all looking kind of milled out. First thing is like running a seam along the edge, so we could totally do that. Here's my Vox seams tool. Yep, there you go, like that. Then there's a pinch, so that's the two tools that we use. I'm gonna come in here. Oh, I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna make a new spline. It's gonna focus on. Okay, it's starting to look a lot better. Look at that, guys. It's like, sitting down. It's like I'm making like a car part or something. I mean, if you think about it, the cars are like the closest we have to like a robotic type thing like this, or like any robotic thing that you might want to make. Okay, let's do this. Well, why is there a big bevel on this? I'm getting a bigger bevel than usual. I don't understand. Extrusion direction average. Okay, this feels really odd to me. I feel like I'm getting a wide bevel on the edge, and like in this other one I had here, it wasn't such a wide bevel. Let's put that to 100. I have to investigate this. Could have been thick layer maybe. That feels better. Let's go back. Ah, went back too far. Okay, let's try this. Let's make sure and save that. Yeah, that's a different bevel. Huh. Vox extrude. It's even worse. It's a little bit nicer. Let's try Vox extrude. I really thought it was build up. It's gonna go simple on this. It could just be because of how the surface is. This is weird. Alright, I'm gonna have to just roll with what I'm getting. Okay, let's do this. I mean, once I figure out this is it, I'm gonna save this as like a panels creation like brush. Okay. That's gonna have to rock. Whoa! For not bending seamlessly to. Hey Poos, how's it go? How's it going? Hey Poos, you know, if you're texting stuff and I don't look up and I don't respond to you, you can just use Xnikki to get my attention. See, cause all normal maps for not blending seams properly. Yep, I shake my fist at anger. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm blending. Yeah. Oh, you're breakfasting? Okay, that's good. What does Poos have for breakfast? That's what I want to know. Okay, right, ramen noodles with some extra sauce. I could dig that for breakfast, yeah. With extra gonachi. What is that? You call it speed food instead of fast food? Do you do coffee also? I don't what? Wow. This XDK, you see what Puss is saying over there? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, look right there. You can actually see me. I'm gonna allow. I'm gonna allow. There you go. Yeah, I guess I'm my mod what do you call it? The mod chat is coming through. But it's all good, we have nothing to hide here. Gonna have to roll with the builder tool, guys. I'm gonna go back on that, and I'm gonna leave that to that size. I'm gonna actually scale this down. Scale that down to about that size there. A little bit higher. A little bit higher. About that. Maybe that. Okay. I'm gonna save this as a panels thing here. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna bring up that like that, and then let's save preset. Oh, let's go depth. Let's go 90 instead of like 80 or whatever. Smoothing. I don't know if I should have any smoothing in this. I think I'll leave that out. Radius 2. Radius should probably actually be 3. If we really wanna. Let's go 3 there. Ooh, that's big. Maybe that's what it wants. Maybe it wants a big stupid radius. So Poos, later, is this ZBrush? No, this is 3D Code Poos. 3D Code. It's ZBrush like. It has a lot of features. It has a few more features than ZBrush, about maybe half the cost. Right? So like, less than half the cost. So if you're thinking about buying ZBrush, I would encourage any artist to buy 3D Code. And it's cheaper, and you just have to buy it once, and you own it forever. Blender is good, but this specializes in sculpting and texture painting and retopology. This really specializes in that stuff. Okay, I don't feel confident with this tree size brush, but we're gonna check it out. Actually, that worked. What? What is going on here? It worked here, but it didn't work. I'm gonna save this. Let's go. Look at it. Let's get it. Okay, save. Add preset. It's on top. Let's not call it build. I'm gonna call it panel. How about build up panel? There we go. That looks a lot. Why is that sharper than the other ones? I don't know. Auto mode, I curse. I don't know about all the cursing, man, but I get where you're coming from. Hey, peace. So Poos, like later today, here on the stream, I'm actually having this thing happening here. I wonder if I can bring that up. Hold on. Let's go to the Wacom here real quick. I'm actually having this happening. So this is a showcase. We call it Epic Showcase. It's a new segment I'm having on the stream, where for half an hour, I showcase any artist like work or any interest you might have. I know one guy's really interested in like showing his toy collection. So, that may be next week. But today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the US. I didn't put the time on the fancy thing I have on the side. You could think I would have put the time on there. But the Epic Showcase is with a guy called Spencer Magnuson. And he's showcasing some plugins he made for Blender. And the plugins help you use Blender faster and better. So he's going to showcase that, some of his work. And I would like to know if you would like to be part of this. I can't think of any other person better than Poos to showcase like for half an hour on. Is this like in 10 hours? Yeah, this should be like 10 hours from now, I'm thinking. Yeah, so that's 4 that's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. So after the stream, once I end the stream, it's going to have another stream later this afternoon where we where Spencer Magnuson showcase his work and that kind of thing on here, So, feel free if you want to stop by. You got a time zone to your local zone? Yeah. Yeah, it's something new I'm trying. Not trying, something new that I'm doing, and stuff like that. So, but I would like to know, think about it. If you would like to showcase any of your work, the stuff that you have. I know you have a few books, online digital books. I bought at least one of them, and it's really, really good. I really enjoy it. So I don't know, maybe we could show some of your work, what you like, and maybe where people could get your the digital books and stuff. Too many studies. I got one of your study books. I like it. For me, I like that stuff. A lot of your study books. Anyways, think about it. Think about it, Poos. I've known you on here for a long time, and I'll be more than honored to, have a segment where we showcase your work and what you're doing to any new people. Because also, I put these streams up on YouTube. I don't know if you know that. So, I have a YouTube channel where people check this stuff out too. I don't understand why this all of a sudden is operating better, but I'm not going to go back and do these. I'm just going to continue through. Sweet. Just kind of making a panel. I kind of don't like this thing here, but hey, 1,000 drawings from reference challenge. Yeah, why not? Why not? How's your drawing going? Do you feel like you're getting what you want out of what you're doing? Oh, Poos. I got some questions to talk with you about. I just thought, oh man. To some extent. Okay. Poos. Wow. Maybe I should talk with you after the stream. I should probably talk with you after the stream. Are you trying to avoid it? You can't avoid it, but you try. Okay. Wow. I'll just give you a little hint of like what I wanted to talk with you about. So Poos, remember at a point where, we could I'll just mention it really quickly on here. Remember at a point there was some kind of policy thing on here on Twitch. And you came over and you're like, hey, Nick, XSI Nick, what do you think about this policy, whatever? And I was like, yeah, whatever, just keep doing what you're doing and everything will be all right, kind of thing, right? So yeah, so maybe I talk with you about that after. Pussy's like, what? It was to do with art and streaming here on Twitch. Right? I think like something they were making like some kind of policy change with like, in terms of like adult content or something like that. But as I said, we could talk about it some other time. You don't remember, it's all good. Yeah, it's probably not that important anyway. Eek, look at that thing. Let me just fix that real quick. Okay, I'll rock with that. Then I gotta get this. Bam. Okay, I think this might be a whole piece right here. But ideally, like, yeah. Maybe getting too fussy. There's maybe too many shapes in here. Breakfast finished, draw some or game some. What to do? Well, that's a good question. I ask myself that question all the time. Let's go back here to let's go back to the screen. Yeah, what to do? Huh, that's a good question. You know what it is? What kind of game you want to play? Game song. Like, what games do you play? I don't even know. What games do you play, Poos? It's according to the game. Oh, Poos is on here, guys. I'm gonna play the Poos song here. Do you guys know that there's a Poos song that I made? I'll play it for you right now. There's a Poos 2 song. Check it out right here. I think it played earlier. This is the Poos song. Ah, responsible. I like it. I love it. Yep, draw first, sir. Okay, last panel, and then that's it for this piece. I'm gonna be a little quiet and just let the song play. There you go. Okay. Let's turn that off. Wow, that tool totally switched to fill. What's going on here? Hold on, that no wonder. Okay, hold on. I go to build, right? I got the build tool, right? Make it a little bit tinier, like about this hole right here. I change that to circle, right? Still on build. Change this over to that. Put a little fall off to it. Oh, okay, it's working now for some reason. Okay. Invert the tool. There we go. That's all I wanted. Okay, we're there. Okay, I'm gonna tune the depth down a bit. It doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't have to be that big. Just make it a little tinier. Thanks. Okay, this is how they put it together, right? They like have to have these little divots here. There we go. Gotta put one over here. Maybe one here. Maybe two over here. Okay, that's fine. That works. Just put one in the corner here. One there. Maybe one over here. Try not to put more than like two or something. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think this, what? From a mess to a message. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Right, and then we're gonna bring the seat part in here, guys. Hold on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hide that. So, man, that seat is rough. What? And let's bring in the comms part. Okay, the comms looks great. Okay, we gotta like fix that seat, bring the comms part in here. Alright, it's definitely some kind of design philosophy going on here where these are little dots and these kind of tight seams and that kind of thing. Okay, so far all these work except for that chair. Right, this chair needs to be fixed up. And the good thing about this is that we have it separate. So we can just deal with this as a separate thing right here. No big deals. Alright guys, this is the last leg of this stuff. My back is killing me. Please, can somebody give me a posture check? Okay. I am going to let's go to my bigger screen. Right now I'm like hunched over the Wacom. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to use my mouse. See how far we could get with just kind of milling this out into like a cushion piece. Actually, the piece should look like this, not like that. Like this. This is a piece right here, right? So we really have to focus on this cushion part right here. Oh, maybe even clean that part up there. Okay, so there's some cleanup. Gonna hide that for now. And we're gonna work on this part. Okay guys, I'm just gonna transition here back to my desktop. Of course it looks all the same to you. All right, so let's get this. Let's get this happening. Okay, remember I was talking about using mask to mask out parts? Like, I don't know. You know, we could do that for sure. I feel I need to cut this in pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this up in two pieces. The top part and the bottom part. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this split right here. Let's make sure we have all layers right here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and split this right down. Okay, yeah, right down there. Split. Maybe I should have taken symmetry off. Oops. I don't think it liked that. My bad, guys. I forgot I had symmetry on here. Oh, still alive. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. Okay, let's do it proper now. There we go. Take that little piece off. You know what? This piece could be anything we want it to be. Oh, why is it not? I was wondering why it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing here. Let's do that again here. Okay, let's do it now. Bam. Okay, so that's split. I'm going to hide. Okay, so we got two parts here. We got a top part and a bottom part. I'm gonna put the top part, the bottom part blue, leave the top part red. Let's see. Okay, so this is a thing unto itself. We could take primitives and build this back, and that's probably the better way. So you can go ahead and hide that. We got this here. I'm gonna make a clean new layer. Okay, and we're gonna build this back with a primitive, with a couple of primitives, so it's nice and clean. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and select primitives. Okay, and let's get one of these bendy primitives right here. Let's get this this box. Right, then there's 4x4, tree, 2x2, lovely. Guess what we got here? Click to place. Transform lattice. Okay, we got it. So just put us up here. We're gonna bend this into submission. And we're gonna build this back with just a couple boxes, and that'll be the end of it. Now the back piece that it's connected to, we'll probably get rid of that. Scale it down, zoops, bring it up. You know what? I wonder, like, Poos, would you even try to get back into 3D? You said you were into 3D at a point, right? Okay, turn this off. Bam. Bam. Scale this like so. Wazam. Let's scale this back. Okay, so that's good there. This may be all we need. Okay, so this is I believe this is a good thing here. I'm gonna apply that, and then we're gonna add some a cube on here, and then we're gonna erase the rest of this stuff. So I could go ahead here and I could just reset reset points. Reset primitive. Wow, that decides just to stick like that. That's crazy. It's all good. We'll use that. Or not. I'll just come in with a regular cube. Get the regular cube to do its thing. That's the difference between like using software and drawing. Like drawing is totally like up to your mind, you know, like if you need to create something, you don't need to like go in depth with like how, you know, polygons want to act, or like what Poos was saying, like normal maps and all that sort of stuff. You could just say to yourself, like, hey, you know, I want this to look like that, and as long as you know the underlying geometry to like a small extent, you could like create what you want, you know. And that's one of the things I love about drawing. Okay, guys, so this is the last of the last. So I just merged the scene code. This is really supposed to be part of this part here. And the other part also supposed to be part of that part, this part. Let's put the scene, let's see what we got. I'm just gonna touch it up. I mean, in truth and in fact, I could leave it as is because the thing is, this is just the interior of a mech suit, right? So as it builds up, nobody's gonna look in here and see, oh, that's, it's all gonna look like one, I'm guessing. No, for real. It's gonna all look like one. And, I don't need to get into that level of detail for now and that kind of thing. But I am going to go in and give it a little bit of a treatment so it looks more together. And then we're gonna probably call that a stream for now. And of course, this material that I'm using here, this red material that looks like ZBrush, is kind of like the worst case scenario, right? So this allows you to see all the imperfections in your mesh. And if I put a regular shader on this right now, everything is going to look pristine, So we want the worst kind of shading in the view to make sure that our surfaces are not lumpy, to make sure our lines are straight. And that's what the shader kind of does. It makes everything looks really bad, so you could see every little squiggle and wobble of your what you're sculpting and that kind of thing. So if I was to put a regular shader on this, which is something like this one, or maybe that one there. No, not even that one. Hold on. Maybe something like this one, maybe. Not even that. Yeah, something like this. All of a sudden, this piece looks really pristine. All right, but we don't want to work like that. We want to work with a worst case scenario shader. Okay, let's go ahead and save. And of course, this comms part, from our concept design is part of a whole internal helmet, right? So I didn't expect it to be this complex. It's just like, hey, it needs to be like this, it needs to be like that, and then all of a sudden, and we have the whole entire inside of the mech to do. But because we have this design, philosophy going of these panels, and then these kind of little dots, kind of like how they install the panels. And then actually I have like some kind of nervous system strip right here. And I actually had a line going through this, right? To show, that's kind of like part of the nervous system. I'm thinking I'm leaving it as is. I'm not going to put that in there. I think the interior is probably going to be mostly one bright color inside. It's a little trick, so just so anybody is wondering how is this going to look, it's going to be pretty bright and pretty fluorescent inside of the suit. The suit outside is going to look pretty flat, because I want the internals of the suit to look kind of like the internals of a body, like blood, and just kind of simply red kind of thing, but not too gory, just it's just a design idea that I'm practicing here. Okay, so let's just get that little back piece there to not look so crude, and that's it. I'm gonna hide the comms. I'm just gonna fix this little back piece here, which is part of this. I'm gonna hide the top again. All right. Oh, we gotta make sure and save. I think this has been auto saving, but we'll just make sure and save yet again, just to make sure everything is nice and squared away. And we're almost done here. Okay, so I'm using my mouse now, guys, and yeah, let's just continue with this. Don't even need to really do that there, but let's run some mesh cleanups on this. So I'm going to uniform scale. I'm going to go back to global surface, and we can even do more. I can even come in here and we could do even more resolution on this, right? But the philosophy, we keep it low res until we need to get it higher res. All right. I think this might need like a slight up-resing, but let's leave it like this for now. I'm going to grab this flatten brush and I'm going to run just some flatten along these edges just to give them a little bit of a bevel and softness. The one thing about modeling in 3D Code, I don't know if ZBrush is like this, but you try to keep all your sharp edges, you know, don't go softening too many edges, because 3D Code naturally, by using voxels, keeps everything's, it's slightly soft, right? Okay. Let's just do this real quick. Grab this line brush tool, put flatten on there. I'm just gonna run some flatten on this. All right, yeah, that's working off the bat. That's working off the bat. Flatten this part here, yep. Oh, let's make sure we're not. Okay guys, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm gonna merge this piece in here. So that's how it should be anyway. The ideal thing would just be to be the ideal thing would be to leave all these parts separate. Right? That would be ideal to a point. But I'm gonna merge all this stuff in. So I'm just looking to see where everything kind of like wants to join up. And I'm gonna add a cube here just to kind of fill this gap in here. I want to shout out Pustu for coming in and saying hello. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely. Anyway, earlier as I was trying to ask Pustu about, like drawing cause an anatomy and that kind of thing, and then Twitch's policy with certain things. So I think like as an artist, and there's something I came across like I was just doing some anatomy, and apparently their policy doesn't allow to show certain things. So it's like Twitch is truly a gaming platform. That's what it's for. And I agree with them on trying to keep the community safe. I agree with that, like for sure. But at the same time, being somebody that does human beings and structures and that kind, it's kind of like, okay, well, I guess I gotta like not do anatomy studies or make a human being, because sometimes when you're doing that stuff, they look naked, right? They might not. I'm not actually doing genitals, right? But they may look naked, right? And I guess even the appearance of that is not good. So we want to abide by all the rules and all the whatever decisions they make for the platform. Definitely stand by it. But at the same time, I have to make a decision whether to do characters on here or not. Because sometimes, as I said, sometimes there's an intermediate, all the time. Sometimes you could like literally sketch, right? Sometimes you could literally sketch a human with clothes and everything on, but sometimes there's an intermediate step where they appear naked. It's not like you're drawing detailed boobs or genitals. It's just, you gotta like put like almost like a bare mannequin figure. So there might be a butt in there, and there might be, like a little bit of a chest. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is not the platform for that kind of thing, and I definitely respect them on that for sure. Definitely. And I totally stand by that. I stand that they decide to to keep the community, especially younger people, safe from any kind of adult themed things. I'm definitely down with that. I think that's why in the chat here I put the chat is definitely 18 years and older. I wanted to put 21 years and older, but like alcohol, but it's like, nah, I'll just put 18 years and older for now. Okay, so we're almost done with this. I'm just gonna apply this in here now, and then this part will be finished. So let's go ahead and add, right? Coolest thing about 3D code, you can just add stuff and it'll just add to things. Okay, so and then there's the comms part. So this is all. Remember when we first started and I did this? It looked so much of like a mess, and now it looked like completely milled out. I'm gonna merge this comms part with this part. You'd be like, no, Nick, don't do it. Now, it's gotta be done. There's more game to be made, right? So you can't like fall in love with just a tiny little part. There's more game assets to be made. Okay, so I'm merging it in. Okay, so it's merged in, right? Resolution dropped to the resolution of everything else because they're all sharing the same res. And let's just start it. Let's just add. So this is the last piece that I gotta do. I'm not gonna do it now. We're gonna do it in another stream. There's the last piece right here, which is a cushion for this part. We have several other parts, but the thing is because I'm working on this, when I reach to these other parts, it's kind of like it's going to go quicker, right? Because we already know what this stuff would look like, right? We're going to go quicker down the line. All right, this top part here is good. And all these are internals, right? So once we get this all squared away, and then we just do a quick retopo on this, which is just simple shapes, then we could paint inside of it and do all kinds of fun stuff, and then hook that back up to the outer character, because it's the inside of the character. Hook all this back up, and oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Are you excited? I'm excited. Okay, let's just unhide all the pieces to see what these pieces look compared to. Oh man, this is gonna look cool once we finish, right? Very cool internals, right? I have a feeling like I would love this to be a lot more dynamic as much as possible, but sometimes you just gotta kind of take what you get, move with this, keep it like that, and move on. All right. So we got this part here. That's fine. We got that part. Oh, that part should be on the bottom actually. Let's go on the bottom. Got that part there. Then we got this part we got to work on right here. Okay, put that in the worst case scenario shader. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so this cushion is totally got to be fixed. It's got to be a chair and a cushion in there. So maybe like an outer cage. We could separate, fix, and then an inner cushion, and that's it. Outer cage, inner cushion, outer cage, inner cushion, and outer mech inner mech chassis. You know, blah blah blah. All right, guys. Yeah, so that's it for now. God bless you. Pustu, thanks for stopping by. I'll hit you up on your Discord, guys. Check out Pustu Twitch stream. It's really interesting. He does a lot of like anatomy studies. I love the way that he approaches it. It reminds me of myself drawing, like when I was a teenager, when I was drawing a lot more, right? But Poos is way more advanced. I'm guessing. So check him out. I love the way he does stuff on planes and all that sort of stuff. And maybe we'd have him. If I could convince him to be part of our new segment, right? Our new segment is called Epic Showcase. Right on top of X Nikki's face. Epic Showcase. So we have an Epic Showcase today at 4 p.m. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's only half an hour, right, within the stream. So I'm coming back. I'm streaming, and for half an hour we're gonna showcase Spencer Magnuson's work. Spencer Magnuson, he did a plugin called Light Painter, another one called Enview, and another one that I like personally called Proxy Plus. And these help you to do like better animations and better lighting and better scene management in Blender. Okay, I'll see you guys there later this afternoon, God willing. God willing, everything work out. We'll all meet up later at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, New York time. I'll see you guys in a little bit. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. And we're going to continue creating art assets. Yeah. Hey, 13 heads just popped in. That's what 13 heads you were lurking all the time? Man, we had a pact. I want to see you later, 13 heads. Later at 4 p.m. Eastern time, New York time. We're going to have a guy. And just to let you guys know, Spencer Magnuson is really, really cool. He works at DreamWorks Animation Studios. I didn't put that out there. I don't know if he wanted me to put that out there, but he also does things with Blender Cookie, and he's part of our community, guys. So really excited about that. Yeah, catch us later, 13 heads. This is a new epic showcase and this is a segment for everybody in the Discord community, like yourself. After Dispenser Magnuson guy, I'm gonna do another person who has a Italian toy collection that he just wants to show, right? And he's also doing models on them, So whatever you're into, whether it be sketching, drawing, or learning Blender, this epic showcase is for epic people like you guys. So we'll see how we could get the word out. All right. So I'll see you later, 13 heads, and have a good one. Have a good morning, everybody. Ex Nikki, sorry for putting that poster on your face, but we needed to advertise. And I'll see you guys later, okay? God bless. Bye bye. Bye bye. Yep. Right on your face, Ex Nikki.